Okay, y'all, here is a quick update to why I didn't want to tamper with my hair. I told you guys in earlier videos that I wanted to interview for a new position within my district. I put in for a transfer, and on Monday, the principal called and wanted to set up an interview. I was like, oh my God, it's smack dab at the beginning of testing, but opportunity knocks, you've got to kick down the door. So we set up an appointment and we were going to meet on Tuesday, the next day. So I decided to put in for half a day, a personal day, because I do everything, you know, in quiet and silence as much as I can. So I put in for the half day and went to meet with the principal. There was a customary hot seat where you sit on one side of the table and the interviewers sit on the other side, and the principal sat at the head of the table. So there were two other interviewers, the principal and myself, in this meeting. So they had already some pre-prepared questions already together. Honestly, I did not even prepare. I'm like, I know it. I'm not going to stress out about trying to figure out what they might ask. But they did ask about some literacy standards for the district that I ain't even thought about. But I know what the goals are, but just verbatim rambling off some stuff, no. At the end of the day, as a librarian, I want kids to be literate and able to comprehend and increase their vocabulary. I know what's expected or what should be done, or what they're calling it, I don't know, but that's what I responded. So the interview lasted about 40 minutes and we did a round robin of questions and answers. I'm sorry for the shakiness, I'm holding the camera. I was asking them some questions about the size of the student body, the population. I currently work at a school that has about 850 kids, right? This particular school has 305. I was like, 305, like a third almost of what I currently serve. I got a chance to tour the library, and we didn't interview in the library. We interviewed in like a meeting room. The library was nice. It's smaller than mine that I have now. The library that I have now is huge, and it's like once you enter the building, it's like the office is on one side and the library is right there, and it's kind of like, ooh, I wish I was like off by myself. So this particular library was off by itself. It is an older building, but it was well maintained. And I did learn that just like at my library, whenever they host an event, they will meet in the library. So I am still finding cupcake frosting and sprinkles from the National Junior Honor Society after, what is it, like the refreshments or whatever. So I'm like, ugh. So I guess it's just the MO, but to me, books and food just don't go together, but okay. So I liked it. They have a lot of technology, and he was telling me how much, he works and loves his faculty. I loved the leadership goals of the principal. However, the school was going to be what's considered like, well, they're making some modifications, and there's an extra work hour per day. So it would be like a 7:15 to 3:15. I currently get off at 3:15 now. So I was kind of looking for something where I could go to work at 7:15 and get off at 2:15 in order to, do things after work, go to appointments or even workshops or whatever, because that's what I want to be able to do. So I thought about it. So at the end of the interview, he escorted me out of the meeting area. I thanked the ladies for interviewing me, and he stopped me. And well, first of all, when we sat in the meeting, when he came in. Let me backtrack a little bit. So the principal had gotten the word, like I think I told y'all in my video, from my principal even before I heard from the principal to interview me. So when he sat down, he was like, he was very honored to be in my presence. I was like, what? What? That has never happened. So I am just assuming that my principal had put in a good word for me. I don't know. Or maybe he just liked my credentials. I don't know, because I'm a real librarian. A lot of classroom teachers think that the librarian doesn't do anything, but our jobs as media specialists, librarians, or whatever you want to call us, it's so diverse, and we wear multiple hats and have to do so many different things, whereas a classroom teacher has their focus. But we each signed up for what we signed up for, and I signed up to be a librarian. I didn't, think, oh, I'm a classroom teacher, this is too much, let me be a librarian so I can do something easy. There's nothing easy, and there's nothing more insulting to a librarian than for a classroom teacher or parent or somebody to think that our jobs are easy. I'm rambling, but just this week I had someone, did I tell you all this? I don't know. Someone asked me, so what is it that you do? I had to maintain this slick mouth because I almost said something really, really ugly. I'm from regular people, but this person said something to me about, what do you do? Which is to me challenging my education, challenging my experience, challenging my struggle. Because if you've watched my video, you know what it took for me to get to library school and to have a full free ride, okay? And maintaining a scholarship. So I was a little bit insulted. So when the person asked, so what is it that you do? Now, mind you, this person has stood next to me while I was searching for equipment when the auditor popped up recently. And I'm like, could you stop leaning and watching me while I'm looking for stuff? But when they ask, what is it that you do? I wanted to ask, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to stop and pick up paper with you? I mean, I didn't want to be classist. That is not my style. But I'm like, what do you want me to do? What will you have me to do? But I'm so over that. I just maintain this pie hole right here and just said, you know what, whatever I want to do. Now, this person wasn't questioning what I did when I was giving them an envelope with birthday money in it. You wasn't concerned about where I was getting my magic money from at that point in time, now were you? But anywho, I digress. But yeah, so the principal was honored to meet me, and I was like flattered. I'm like, okay, thank you. But anywho, we got outside, and he asked, what would you do if I were to offer you this position right now? I was like, oh my God, really? Now, mind you, I put in for the application or transfer or the interview process or whatever April the 1st. April Fool's Day, right? So I put the application in April 1st, and then I didn't hear from him until Monday, and Monday was April 15th. So it took about 15 days for him to contact me. So I'm like, I figured he had other candidates, but he was so busy calling my principal. I'm like, well, maybe he's just a surefire thing that, I'll come and go. I don't know. Librarians are not necessarily a dime a dozen. Like, teachers are, whatever, like multiple certifications that they have, but librarians are kind of like, you need one, especially in this particular school. You need someone who is, certified. So I was like, well, tell you what, let me, before I answered right then and there, let me have overnight to think about it, to pray about it, and talk to my husband about it. So he agreed with that. And so I went home, y'all, and I thought about it, prayed about it, talked to my husband about it. And of course, ultimately, it was my decision because I'm the one who's got to go there, right? So that night when I laid down, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was dreaming that I told him yes and that everything felt right in my dream. But when I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, I still felt conflicted. And in my life, everything that I've ever wanted, God has always given it to me with a bow on it. You know what I mean? He had a bow on it, rainbows, bells, and whistles. So I knew it was for me. And so one of the worst things that I fear is to make a bad decision and regret it. So I had to call him this morning and respectfully decline the offer. It just did not feel 100% authentic for me and my focus. So yeah, it was going to be another lateral move to a middle school. I'm kind of tired of middle schoolers. You got the sixth graders who are so cute. Oh, they're so cute. Eighth graders, oh, they're trying to get out of there and go to high school. Seventh graders are like, I love you, I hate you. You don't know anything, you know everything. So I figured, you know what? Let me stay put, because I didn't want to have to deal with the intervention that was going to be going on that was not necessarily my fault, and we were going to have to work really, really hard to try to transform, you know, the school and everything to superior standards. So I just didn't think it was for me, even though I loved the principal's leadership. I just felt like if he were to transfer or get fired, I would be stuck there without feeling, you know, 100%, you know, where I wanted to be. So I had to respectfully decline his offer. Now, I did apply for one of the high school positions that I saw that it's like 10 minutes from my house. So I'm waiting for a call back from that. But, you know, it is what it is. And I did find out maybe who might be coming to my school, and I'm like, okay, if he comes, I think that will be great. But you know, we have to wait and see, because in my district things change like the weather in Memphis. Okay, so that's the update on my job. So I thank you all who are interested, and this video will eventually go public, but for right now it's unlisted, but it's gonna be public eventually. But anyway, y'all, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.